Let's get down to the bottom of it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Daniel Penny speaking out for the very first time about the incident that happened between him and Jordan Neely on the New York City subway. Now, this story is pretty, I guess you would say, polarizing. It caused quite a few protests. There were accusations of racism and vigilantism and all types of stuff directed toward Daniel Penny from just regular normie citizens and also some elected officials, the comptroller out there in New York, also Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the U.S. congressman from New York. There was all kind of things said about Daniel Penny and Jordan Neely, but what we have not heard as of yet, as far as I know, is anything directly from one of the parties involved, Daniel Penny. Now, you guys know the story. Daniel Penny is a Marine veteran. I believe he's 24 years old. And he had Jordan Neely in the headlock for a period of time because Jordan Neely was allegedly on the subway acting crazy, threatening people. And unfortunately, Jordan Neely died. May he rest in peace. Now, I think Daniel Penny is facing some legal charges as a result of that. But we've not heard from him to get us out of the story yet. Now, before I go any further, let's go ahead and roll the clip. If you want to see the clip in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Well, I live in the East Village in Manhattan, so I take the subway multiple times a day. In this instance, I was coming from school. I got out of class around 2:15, and I took I was at J Street Metro Tech, took the Uptown F train. At 2nd Avenue, a man came on, stumbled on. He appeared to be on drugs. The doors closed, and he ripped his jacket off and threw it at the people sitting down to my left. I was listening to music at the time, and he was yelling, so I took my headphones out to hear what he was yelling. And the three main threats that he repeated over and over was, "I'm going to kill you. I'm prepared to go to jail for life, and I'm willing to die."
Oh, that's pretty serious right there. I'm going to kill you. I'm ready to die. I'm ready to go to jail. That's pretty serious. So if anybody's experiencing something like that, they might be a little bit afraid and on edge. Just keep on going.
So this was a scary situation, and Mr. Neely came on. He was threatening. I'm 6'2", and he was taller than me. So it was, and there's a common misconception that Marines don't get scared. We're actually taught one of our core values is courage, and courage is not the absence of fear, but how you handle fear. And, I was scared for myself, but I looked around, I saw women and children. He was yelling in their faces, saying these threats. I couldn't just sit still. Some people say that I was holding on to Mr. Neely for 15 minutes. This is not true. I mean, between stops is only a couple minutes. So the whole interaction lasted less than 5 minutes. Some people say I was trying to choke him to death, which is also not true. I was trying to restrain him.
Let's pause for a minute right here. Now, the whole thing about 15 minutes, I think the 15-minute time frame came from when the police were called until the police showed up. That doesn't mean that he was on him for the entire time, because the police could have been called before the restraint happened, and then they came after it was over with, and maybe by the time Mr. Neely, unfortunately, had passed away.
You can see in the video there's a clear rise and fall of his chest, indicating that he's breathing. I'm trying to restrain him from him being able to carry out the threats. And then some people say that this was about race, which is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't see a black man threatening passengers. I saw a man threatening passengers, a lot of whom were people of color. The man who helped restrain Mr. Neely was a person of color. And then a few days after the incident, I read in the papers that a woman of color came out and called me a hero. I don't believe that I'm a hero, but she was one of those people that I was trying to protect.
So you have a white man on the subway protecting people of color, black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, everybody, from a man who was threatening them, but he's a racist? Makes no sense.
We were all scared. Mr. Neely was yelling in these passengers' faces, and they looked terrified. The reason why there was no video at the start of the altercation was because people were too afraid getting away from him. And The videos didn't start until they saw that situation was under control. I knew I had to act, and I acted in a way that would protect the other passengers, protect myself, and protect Mr. Neely. I used this hole to restrain him, and I did this by leaving my hand on top of his head to control his body. You can see in the video there's a clear rise and fall of his chest, indicating that he was still breathing. And I'm calibrating my grip based on the force that he's exerting. And I was trying to keep him on the ground until the police came. I was praying that the police would come and take this situation over. I didn't want to be put in that situation, but I couldn't just sit still and let him carry out these threats.
So there's a video. Again, if you want to see it in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But I think what he said right here was truthful. That's the way it appeared to be on the video. There were others restraining Mr. Neely. There were others there. And nobody was saying that Daniel Penny was a bad guy, that he was a monster, that he shouldn't have done what he did. As he said, there was a woman, I don't know if she was black, white, whatever. I think it was a non-white woman, came out and said that Daniel Penny's a hero. And the reason why a lot of times you'll see people just do things to people on the subway in a crowded place and nobody comes to help is because nobody wants to be in the shoes of a Daniel Penny. You're doing the right thing. You're helping people. You're protecting people. And then something goes wrong. Maybe the guy gets injured. Maybe the guy dies. Something goes wrong. Now you're in trouble. Now you're facing a legal challenge. Now you might go to the penitentiary or at least to jail for a certain period of time, all because you wanted to help. So then what's the result of that? People just mind their business. You're on the subway. You see a woman getting beat up by a man. I'm talking about stomped in the wine. He's tearing her up. Now, in the past, men would step in to break this up. You're not just going to beat on this person on the subway like this. You're not going to do that. You're going to protect the person being beat up. But now, I mean, it's more likely that you're just going to say, all right, well, look, if she's getting beat up, oh, well, it's not my business. I mind my own business. If she dies, hey, oh, well, at least I didn't get in trouble. And that is the mentality. Now, am I saying that's the right mentality? No, I'm not. But what are you to do? Are you going to risk your life? Are you going to risk your freedom for a total stranger that you don't know? You don't want to see this woman getting beat up, but at the same time, you don't want to see yourself in the penitentiary. You got kids, you got a wife, you got a family. You don't want to get torn from them because you wanted to intervene in a total stranger's life, especially when there's like a domestic thing going on. It could be a husband and a wife. Sometimes she might get up after you save her and then attack you and then join the husband and calling the police on you if he gets hurt. So it's really bad out here. I think Daniel Penny did the right thing. I don't think that he meant for Jordan Neely to die. That wasn't even really it. To say it's a race thing is irrelevant because there were others on the train who did the exact same thing that he did at that moment, who helped him restrain Mr. Neely. And then there were passengers that he was threatening who were non-white. So the race thing, I'm not buying. You got a bunch of race soldiers out there, race hustlers and hucksters out there. I want to make it be that way, but it ain't that way. Now, as I close, I'm going to say this. Shout out to Daniel Penny for helping coming to the aid of these people because, like I said, there are a lot of reasons why people don't want to help. Everybody wants to mind their own business. I don't see nothing. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to stay out of it. My name's Bennett. I ain't in it, all this, that, and the third. People want to do that, but Daniel Penny's not that way. He risks his own life and his freedom for doing so, unfortunately. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Daniel Penny said here in the interview? Do you think that he was being sincere? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about the passengers that were on the train with him saying, hey, he was a hero? Passengers that were trying to assist in the restraint. Do you think that they were somehow racist or were they all doing the right thing? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think Daniel Penny is a hero for stepping up to defend other people, especially when you have this air of when you have the risk of losing your freedom, maybe even your life, for doing it. And not because you're going to be attacked by the guy that is on the ground being restrained. Not because of that. Not because of gang retaliation. It's because of law enforcement being spurred on by the general public. Hey, he did this. He did that. Then there's protests. Then there's chaos. Then there's riots. So now they may be encouraged to act on behalf of their political masters, Alvin Bragg and everybody else. It becomes a whole big mess, and it's really unfortunate. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.